Hey, Shalom. I want to share a little word, a really beautiful teaching that Rav Shmuel Eliyahu gave over the Rav of Tzfat last week. Here in Israel this week, the Parshat is Korach, and in outside of Israel, it's Shlach still. And at the end of the Parsha of Shlach, after all of the, one of the saddest stories in the whole Torah where the spies see the land and then they give a bad report of the land and the people cry and it's a very, very heavy situation. The end of the Parsha suddenly is talking about tzitzit, about the mitzvah of tzitzit, explaining that it's a mitzvah to wear tzitzit on a four-cornered garment. And part of the mitzvah of tzitzit is that the Techelet, the blue string, special blue string, which in Hebrew is Techelet. And Techelet, so as Rav asked me, why at the end of this parsha, which has to do with, seeing, looking at the world and seeing it in a negative way as opposed to a positive way, would this come up? What's the connection? So we know in the parsha, in the connection, it says in the Gemara that Techelet, this color that goes on the tzitzit, it's this blue color, and Techelet is like the blue of the sea, and the blue of the sea is like the sky, and the sky is like the Kisei HaKavod, the throne of glory above. So in Hebrew, Techelet kamo hayam kamo rakia kamo Kisei HaKavod. And this progression going from the tzitzit, because when part of the idea of tzitzit is to look at them. It says you should look at them. We shouldn't follow after our eyes towards anything off or anything negative. And so it's about looking. But we're talking also last week about a deeper looking. There's seeing, there's a deeper seeing, there's a hearing, which is even a higher seeing, like it says in the Shema, the letters of Shema, standing for lift your eyes on high, su enem maroma. So some type of deeper seeing has to do with imagination. So the Rav explained that when a person uses their imagination, they can imagine going from that level of looking at a little blue string on their tzitzit to imagining the sea. If you look at the sea, how expansive it is, how awesome it is. And then looking at the sea, look up at the sky and how expansive and wondrous the sky is and how it extends seemingly into the infinite. And then beyond that, to take it a step even further and imagine this throne of glory above. That there's some way of actually imagining this very, very high divine place where the throne of glory of God. And this is imagination. And the Rav said that what we're being taught here and what we're being told here is that it's really important for us to use our imaginations. If the spies had looked at the land and used their imagination, they could have imagined how good it would be for the Jews to come in, and how successful that they would be, and how awesome they would be in there, and come in with strength and with joy by using their imagination. And so the lesson here is that tzitzit are telling us that we really actually need to use our imagination to imagine where we really need to go, what we really need to do, which is really beyond just looking at something physical. It takes it all the way to, looking at the sea, looking at the sky, and even looking with our inner eye at something that we can even just imagine about touching this divine place, that there actually is such a thing as this divine level of reality. And the only way that we can, quote-unquote, see that is with our imagination. It's not something that you can see with your eyes. It's something that's much deeper than that. So, and this brings us in also to the parsha. He said if the spies had used their imagination, they would have had a good report, because with imagination, looking and believing in all of the goodness that a Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Creator, wants to bring to us and give to us, then we can imagine it, we can be there, and we can believe in it, and we can do it. And coming into this portion with Korach, so I'm going to give a class next week, Erev Rosh Chodesh, on Monday night. We'll put out the announcement soon, God willing, and we'll talk a little bit about the Parsha and about Rosh Chodesh. And I'm just blessing us all, wherever we are, in Israel, outside of Israel. If we're feeling like we're flowing, if we're feeling stuck, whatever it might be, to use our imaginations for holiness, to use our imagination to imagine something such as seemingly simple and insignificant as like a little blue string on tzitzit, to then bounce to imagining the expansive, beautiful sea, imagining how glorious and amazing it is, and then looking further up and looking to the sky, and then looking even deeper from an inner eye, like a spiritual look, and recognizing that there's something really, really much bigger going on here. And Hashem believes in us. I bless us to believe it ourselves and to see that, and to see that with our imagination. Use our imagination for holiness. And it should be a beautiful Shabbos. We should hear good news, and we should give good reports on the land and on ourselves and our lives, and believe in ourselves, believe in each other. And we'll bring ourselves all the way through, God willing, together. So good Shabbos, good Shabbos.